guys, it's very cold, and I am a little sad and depressed. That's okay. It is because of the season change. It is fall has left, and it's just leaving it, It's just letting go of one season to go into another season. And winter is upon Staten Island, and there's a feeling of, first of all, today is very chilly, and I don't know how to describe it more than it just overcomes me sometimes, dealing with these emotional feelings that come with the season. For me, it's been eating a little bit more, wanting to be alone more, just roll up in a bowl and just deal with my sadness. And it's not a negative thing to be depressed, and not a morbid thing. It can be, but the way I deal with it sometimes is the most healthiest way is to sometimes take walks and talk about it. But there are other ways to express it: drawing, painting. That's what I love about that, because depression has a negative stigma with it, that it's just a bad thing to have, and it's not true at all. I often find myself depressed a lot, and but I find ways to find excitement in life, new things that I've never ventured into or read or attempted to try to do, or really listen, or even speak about it to myself and have that conversation with another human being about why am I depressed and why they get depressed, or just share intimate things about depression. The thing about depression is that it comes and goes, and sometimes it stays for a long time, and sometimes it goes away for a long time, but it comes back. It's part of being humans. It is a feeling that's a part of us. It's just like our hands and heads and eyes and ears. It's part of us. There's no way around it in the shell, and that's okay. That's okay. I can walk with it. I don't have to wear a badge, and I don't have to have, people don't have to feel sorry for me, and I don't have to feel sorry for people. But I do have to be aware of my inner feelings and my inner child, and love that, respect and honor that I have to take care of myself in ways that no other human can understand. Depression is an intimate thing, I think, with me and myself and I. It's just part of a relationship that's going to be a long time on this earth. Just like happiness is a relationship, it's going to be there for a long time. Being happy, being sad, being crazy, being ecstatic, all these emotions that run in and through me are part of my relationship. These are all part of the deal. It's winter and it's cold, and my hands are so cold holding this phone, but I like to talk about this subject the most because when I was a child, I didn't know how to, more as I got older as a child in my teen years, I didn't know how to deal with depression, and I took into always wanting to fit in with other people, and then I felt like I never fit in. I grew up in a neighborhood of a poor neighborhood in the Johnson projects of New York City, and my outlet was watching MTV and watching just various rock bands and music, and playing video games were outlets to hide from the world that I just didn't know what to expect, and going to high school and trying to fit in and couldn't find my tribe. And it was just hard making friends and having these feelings to deal with being, these new feelings of just, growing up as a teen who falls in love with girls, and doesn't know how to express that, or likes girls, or likes another fellow human being, really likes her. So, I took into doing cigarettes, thought I was going to fit in with people who were cigarettes. I always did subjects that other people like. So if they played football, I played football, or basketball. I really didn't like that stuff. I mean, it was fun to learn histories about it, but nah. I didn't really find anyone who would talk about stuff I like. I mean, I didn't have much to like anyway in the beginning because I still couldn't find my way. So So, you know, I couldn't find my way of who I was. And then I took into, you know, later on pot, marijuana, and a little bit of alcohol. That was a short time, but, you know, that's still trying to hold my feelings and for what I really feel. And that's the problem with myself. I found out that, you know, when you can't express yourself, you have to find ways to do it. And I talk about young me back then when I was 16, 17, 18, because it's important to remember where I first noticed this depression and all these thoughts came. And I never wrote this down. I never wrote these statements and questions about myself as I do now, as I explore here in this video with you guys about depression. The artist Vincent van Gogh, they say he suffered major bouts of depression because he had a lot of guilt, and he wrote those letters to his brother. He wrote him a lot. He always wrote those letters to his brother about not feeling enough, inadequate, and always needing more of something to fill him up. And art supplies was his last bout, I think. That was his addiction, art supplies and making art, which was a beautiful thing. Nothing wrong with that. But to address the other things that are going on is to, you know, see it as he explored. He did exploration, and you can see in his paintings the people he met. And it was so much more than just depression over him. Could have been so much more. He was a full human being. He was just not an artist and a depressed person. He had, you know, he's a writer. I believe he was a pastor, I believe. So, and he had a life, I mean, for a young age of Vincent van Gogh. And that's what I think I want everyone to know, that you're full of everything. You have so much more than just one-sided. You're not the kid who just plays games. You're not the kid who just hides in their closet. You're not the kid who just doesn't have friends. You're not the kid who's not talented. You're not the fat kid, the skinny kid. You're not the beautiful kid. You're not the talented kid. You're everything. You have so much more than just one thing. We put labels on ourselves, and we allow people to put labels on ourselves. Two things we should always not do. Learn to be ourselves and honor that and understand our feelings emotionally. Love yourself today. And don't beat yourself up too much. All right, guys, so now I wanted to talk about this Dr. P.H. Martin's iridescent. I haven't used this in a while, so I'm going to shake it up. And I do have some calligraphy pens around here. I haven't used them as long. So I'm just going to dip in, and I'm going to be honest, I haven't played with these in a long time. So I'm going to just use a C4. That's what this is. The pin is a C4. These are from Speedball, and bought these like maybe 10 years ago. So, and to compare it, I also have the Speedball. This is old. This is 10 years old. There might not even be any gold in it. There's some liquid in it. This is the gold one. This is the ink Speedball one. Now this cost about $10. Back then this was about, I think this was about $10 too. $10, and also got the silver one. So I got two of this. I got the gold and silver from the Speedball, and we're gonna see if there's anything left. And then I also got the Dale and Rowney's acrylic artist. This is a white one. This is 10 years old as well. And I got this a long time ago. This was about $12. So we will see. Give it a test. So let's start with the iridescent one. This is the iridescent yellow from PH. Let's see how that works. And I'm using, ironically, the I just talked about them earlier, the Stillman & Burns Delta series. Let's see how that works here, because this one can handle it. So there's the tube. I'm going to put this to the side. I didn't think about tissue or anything like that, so I'll just put this right here. I'm going to dip. It's been a long time since I've even done stuff like this. Just give me a second, guys, while I just play with it a little bit. And I'm just going to try to do this. Maybe I can get it closer to you. So give me a second. I'll put it closer to you. All right, so this is the closest I can get. So what I'm going to do is just try to maybe color this gold. So there you go. Nice thin lines. Yeah, this is pretty good. It flows pretty good for what I do, for what I'm doing. So this is the beautiful iridescent. Now, according to the bottle, this is unfortunately the pin I chose is very thin, but according to the bottle, it has a non-stop something. What it said somewhere, I forgot what it said somewhere. I read it holding it in my hand, but it had mentioned that the flow doesn't stop or doesn't go, so it's just very nice and easy. It's really beautiful how it goes on here. A little thick, but maybe because I'm putting it on thick. Alright, so there's that. Now I'm going to wash it off for a minute. Alright. Sorry about that. Now I'm going to use, so that was Dr. P.H. Martin's. I like how it has an acrylic-y iridescent feel, kind of like watercolor. Now let's try the gold. Now I'm going to use the Speedball Gold and see how that goes. Oof, it hasn't been used in a while. This one's lumpy and watery down. This is very cheap, I think, compared to the Martins. But let's see how this one, this is a darker one too as well. So just give me a second. Okay. So we're just going to compare it right to the side, you'll see. Yeah, it's a little bit watery, pretty much, but it does the job. So there it is, you can compare it. It's a little bit more watery, but maybe it's because it's old. My Speedball ink tint. It's a little older. And now I'll try the silver as well. Shake it up a little bit. You got to shake these up. Ooh, it hasn't been opened in a while. And it's watery also. Okay, just give me a second. All right. Let's see how it works. Okay, watery. So the Speedball are very watery and I mean, not that it's a problem, you can work with it. It works well with this type of paper that's heavy, because this is extra heavy paperweight from the Stillman & Burn. So that makes it more easier to work, but if you had a thin paper, it would probably be a challenge. Alright, so now we're going to try the Dale and Rowney Artist Ink. Let's see how this one works. Whew, this hasn't been opened in a while. And clumpy too. Has a lot of clumps. Ooh, it's like milk white. It's pretty old. Let's see if it even shows. Yeah, it's going to show. You can probably see it right next to the gold. I mean the silver. So there you go for that. You'll see it looks like a little milky. So that shows. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy that that still works. I'm going to maybe go back into calligraphy and buy reds and blues that I need because I like these basic colors. Maybe even buy more nibs. That's what they're called. But for now, I'll use these nibs. So that's, you know, that's a pretty good, decent idea of what I want to do it for. I actually initially wanted to draw in black paper, which I have here. I did a review a long time ago, and I'll show you guys. I want to do this test on black paper, and I might just do that. I might just risk it, because I can always buy this. I haven't used it anyway, so I'll show you right now. Hold on, guys. Here's another, I think I did a review a long time ago of this black paper. That was a long time ago. I'm pretty sure I did. I just don't remember. Maybe I have the video. This was probably a long time ago. But yeah, this black paper is pretty thin. It's not that heavy. It's about, I mean, it's pretty thick compared to the other sketchbooks. It says 92, but it feels thin. But it's supposed initially for, it is for color pencil, gel pens, and metallic markers. However, we can try and see if I could just do a quick sketch of something. And I want to try it with the gold here. Let's see what happens. And I'm going to change my nib out, because I mean, it's nice, but I don't know, I just want to make it a little bit more brushy like. So I have a couple of nibs. Let me see which one I'm going to choose. There's always a go-to and I can't find it. You know what? I'll just keep it. I'll just stick to the C4. I'm gonna work it there. All right, so we're gonna use the PH Martins and draw something with it. I'm not very good with writing names out, but I'm gonna just practice. So I'm gonna do a circle. Not bad. It's still, you know, considering I'm using calligraphy pens to draw, which is weird. Very simple, nothing crazy drawing, just a quick sketch. I'm just trying my best to... So I notice I have to go from left to right with this nib. And I can drag some more out and pull. And I can also go right to left too and just play with that. It feels good, actually. Something new to play with. So let me wash that nib out, because I'm going to try another color. So we're doing two things. We are experimenting with the Canson XL black paper and the Dr. P.H. Martin's iridescent calligraphy. And we're just seeing the results, which is fun to experiment with on camera with you guys. And I'm glad you're on the journey with me doing this. So, all right, let's do the, let's try the white now. Here's that white I'm talking about. Let's see how that white looks against the white. I mean, the black paper. It's going to have that milk effect. You would think the contrast would be crazy, but we'll see. We will add it to the hair. Wow, that looks interesting. Put little dots in the eyes. Give it some context. Yes, yes. Trying to be careful not to touch the gold. It's kind of interesting. And now we're going to try the gold from Speedball, which is about 10 years old. We'll see how that goes. Shake it up a little bit. Let's see how that contrasts that gold. Ooh, look at that bubble. You probably can't see it. There you go. So I'm going to pop it. Oh, it popped by itself. All right. Now this gold is like a warm gold, very warm. Now let's see how that works out. I gotta load it. I didn't load it correctly. All right. Okay, so it doesn't show as much. It's actually not that powerful as the iridescent yellow. But it has its uses actually. It gives it a subtle look on this black paper. Doesn't mean it's bad at all. It's just different. And I like that you can figure out ways to play with color. And it's more watery, so it gives it that more toned down instead of it being so warm color. Because at first, initially looking at it, it's going to be a warm color or not. And now I load the brush. Let's see what happens when I really load it. So there you go. I loaded it up, and there you go. So that's the color you get, that watered down look from them. So Speedball is not a bad thing at all. It's not bad at all, actually. It's just not the results I want on this paper. Now let's try their silver one. Let's see what happens. Very iridescent. And I'm going to put it, there you go. So it has almost like the white, but it's a grayish tones, and I'm just pulling it. You can see the white there, and then you can see the difference in the texture. All right, so there you have it. I tried the Dr. P.H. Martin's, which was a good brand. I think it's a very powerful brand. I'm happy with the results on that. The Dale and Ronnie F.W. Acrylics Artist, the white, and both the Speedball silver and gold. So those are the results using a Speedball nib and pen on the Canson, sorry about that, putting the camera in there, XL large paper. So those are the results. I mean, that's really fantastic results, I'd say, on this black drawing paper. So yeah. All right, guys, so thank you so much for watching the sketchbook series. I hope you enjoyed that as well. I just decided to try that new on my channel to do review products as well. I do like reviewing them and showing you how I apply them and use them in my art day and in my art jobs, or just art in general. So I really enjoy sharing those moments with you, and nothing is ever perfect behind the scenes. You'll never see me do a lot of that, but there's a lot of cleanup involved. As you see, this tissue paper, books are drying, still wet, you know, things I'm doing, but you know, overall you can't really you can't show everything. I can't show everything I want to, of course, but I'm glad to share what I think will work for you if you're in your art journey. You know, if you're really on your art journey, you want to know maybe some ideas to start. I always suggest pencils, pens, you know, whatever works. If you get a pencil, a sheet of paper, 8x1/2 paper, and start there and start drawing circles and drawing squares and triangles, and learn about light and color, and read stories, read a lot of books, and listen to music, and you know, try those things, and go outside. It's one of those amazing things when you go out during the seasons. The 4 seasons are the most important indication of color, moods, and your spirit. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys for watching. Be kind, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.